Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., all rights reserved.
As I was walking down the street one day, a man came up to me and asked me what the time.
Well, Chicago bringing us back, 7 till. I'm Jim Blasingame. Thanks for being with me. My pleasure, as always, to continue to be with you. Having a great visit with our good friend Mike Menzies, the resident banker in the Brain Trust, the president of Easton Bank and Trust in Easton, Maryland, where they only eat the jimmies, right?
Jimmies. We don't eat the sucks. There's the Virginians that eat the sucks.
we're talking about
right.
crabs, folks, and
all those boys with the gray suits eat the sucks. We don't.
The jimmies are the males, folks. The six are the females, and see, I'd be honest with you, Mike. I'm probably a little bit of a Virginian because when I get a chance to get a crab, I don't really inspect it. I just eat it.
You Virginians never showed any respect for your female crabs.
I know, that's right. Hey, Mike, the global economy that has so much promise in so many ways, meaning, for example, in America, globalization puts the other 94% of Earthlings, as possible prospects for American businesses. But right now, our global economy is also causing us a lot of pain, and not only the economy, but the banking issue. We got a lot of things that we're worried about right now, don't we?
Oh yeah, and I wouldn't want you to think that I'm speaking within my intellect about the global economy. It's far beyond me to comprehend all these dynamics. But my simple community bank observation is that we've lived through a couple of decades of a roll-up economy, the Walmartization of our economy, and so today the top 100 so banks out of 6,400 banks have close to, if not over, 80% of all the assets of the industry, and the same occurrences exist with most of the other industries of America. And they've gotten so big, they operate with these gigantic silos within these enterprises that don't talk to one another, that you have to wonder whether it isn't time to break them up again.
Mm-hmm.
Because we become so dependent upon these entities that are gigantic.
We can't have too big to fail anymore, can we?
Well, we can't. We still do. We clearly have too big to fail. I mean, if we probably have more too big to fail today than before the financial meltdown.
I agree with you.
But I think a challenge that Congress faces is, do they really want the power of this nation residing in the hands of a few, under the notion that the economies of scale competitive advantage allows them to compete on the global arena more effectively? And what that has done is it's produced 15 to 20 million jobs that don't exist right now.
Right.
I mean, it has eviscerated the spirit of this country, and I really wonder what we can do to correct that. And I think many years ago we used to break these guys up, and it's something to think about again.
Well, I think so too, and I think one of the things it would really be a great suggestion was what you proposed in the last segment, which is to create a separate banking regime for independent banks.
Yeah,
because independent banks are American banks. They only care about American business, about American commerce, and the big banks are global banks. And so and I'm not trying to be xenophobic here or protectionist here, Mike, because everybody knows I'm not. But from a financial standpoint, Main Street American small businesses need an American banking system.
And look at the Wall Street Journal today, and I won't mention the name of the bank, but it's one of the largest banks of America, announcing that they're laying off 3,500 people this quarter and maybe 10,000 people over the next few quarters in order to right-size the company after being one of the largest TARP recipients.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great example of what too big to fail.
Right. And the folly of the government trying to fix it.
Yes. Exactly. And while no one would say, well, we just should have let them go down, there's just no question that we shouldn't allow this condition to exist in the future.
Right. But here's the bottom line, Mike, and maybe it's rhetorical. Have we learned any lessons at all in 3 years?
Boy, I hope so. I'm inclined to believe that we continue to face this political and economic challenge, and that will occur right up through the election.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, our addiction to debt, our national debt, our addiction to a consumption-only based economy,
right.
our addiction to spending what we don't have at the government level. Hopefully, that addiction will hit a bottom and it'll end.
We got to turn that. We got to turn that around. America's got to have a gut check with itself. Hey, Mike, thanks for being here. Good job today, as always.
Good to be with you, James.
Mike Menzies, ladies and gentlemen. What a great American, great leader in the marketplace too. I got to go for this hour. I'm Jim Blasingame. I'll see you later.
Insperity presents the Small Business Advocate Show with Jim Blasingame, brought to you by FedEx, CareerBuilder.com, and Palo Alto Software. This is a copyrighted production of Small Business Network, Inc., intended for the private use of our audience. Except as otherwise provided by copyright law, all other copying, redistribution, or publication without prior written consent is prohibited. All rights reserved. Prohibited. All rights reserved. Prohibited.